Okay, here we go. Oops, I said that before I was supposed to. From deep in the forest high atop the great Smoky Mountains. This is Smoky Mountain Off-Grid. Now we can go, right? Not before this. Okay. Pepsi Cola. See, not beer, Pepsi Cola. I live on this stuff. All right, I want to talk about a few things today. I was supposed to go to the Homestead today. It didn't happen. There we go. Didn't happen. The reason is the success of a good plan depends on flexibility. No, we've got kind of a dilemma. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's just the normal routine of trying to figure out what to do first. We've got a lot of things on our plate here. So one of those is starting a new business. And that's what the plan's changed about. I'm trying to set up a new shop here in town because this thing is blinking at me. Does that mean that it's working? I don't know. Anyway, you're finding out. I'm not real tech savvy. At any rate, now, it's bothering me so much I have to look at the camera. I'm sorry. I have to look to see. Yeah, it's recording. We're 2.5 minutes into it, and I haven't even said anything. Okay. So let me make it as, I have to do this quickly, won't I? In the news today, I'm just doing this because I want to bring up a news item every time I do a video. Canada is banning investments by pension funds into anything but government bonds. Now, why would I bring that up? Because the U.S. is going to do the same thing. They're already doing it in Europe. They've been doing it for years. In the Eurozone, their pension funds can't invest in anything but government bonds, and their government bonds have negative interest rates. So you can kiss your pension goodbye, I would say. Anyway, and that's what it's all about. The government just wants to control pensions, which is just one more step. They're taking tiny steps, but here shortly they're going to release a grand plan. That's going to happen. I did the analysis on modern monetary theory, for the current economic conditions, and you guys probably won't be interested in that, but I'll cover it in another video, because I can disprove modern monetary theory quantitatively, and I've never heard anybody do it before, so I can do it. But I'm that guy that counts steps and counts stairs, and 132 steps into Barb's cardiologist office from the parking lot for a 7-second appointment with the doctor Well, the actual session was 2 minutes, but he looked at her EKG for 7 seconds because I sat there and counted it. But that's what I do. They have some acronym for that, OCD or something or another, whatever. And so, the other day I sat down and I did the analysis. Anyway, now, so you don't get the wrong idea about this new shop I'm setting up. The reason I'm doing it is because I need someplace to work when we're not at the homestead. And we can't be at the homestead all the time because of the medical stuff that's going on. We have to be in close proximity to the medical facilities. So, I need to have someplace to work when I'm not at the homestead. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea about this. It sounds all grand, doesn't it? Oh, we're setting up a new shop. Yeah, I am. But it's part of starting a new business. And that sounds grand too, right? All right, so let me put it to scale for you. My new shop will be in a 6-foot by 8-foot utility shed that was on this property when we bought it. You'd be interested in seeing that, wouldn't you? Now that's a shoestring. I don't have a lot of money. I do things on a shoestring. And I'm usually successful at it. Okay. So, that's the reason for the change in plans today. Now, what else we got going on? All right, I've got notes here. I've got 2 mountains of notes. And I write notes about everything. But here's the dilemma. Here's the dilemma. We have a dilemma. I'd like to show you guys. About how to, start your own business. I mean, it's not hard. I'd like to show you what we're doing at the homestead. The homestead's off grid. And we're going to build a guest house up there, in addition to the cabin that's already there, and the workshop that's already there. So, the new business is revolved around the homestead because the new business has to do with wooden things, wooden projects, from the downed, storm-damaged pine trees, spalted pine, because the trees were blown down because the beetles were in the pines, and the root system was weak, and so it blew those trees down and it left the others. And as long as we're going to clean it up, I might as well use the wood for something, right? I have a sawmill. And so the new business is going to be revolved around that, ecologically friendly, environmentally sound, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is that in order to do those things, we need to promote the business, right? So, and how am I going to promote the business if I don't give stuff away? So, here's the dilemma involves all this social media, and it involves websites, and it involves, selling stuff online. And the internet is like the Wild West. There are hacks every day. I just shut down a website because they wanted hundreds of dollars to secure my website because it kept coming up, that my website wasn't secure. And so who in the heck's going to log into my website if it's flashing this red thing that says that my isn't secure? And it has something to do with SLL or I don't know, RSS feeds, I think, or something. Listen, I don't know anything about that stuff. So, and I'm not going to pay hundreds of dollars. I paid for this website, and initially, and that was hundreds of dollars. And I'm not going to pay additional hundreds of dollars. Website's been out there for almost 3 years, so I just shut it down. So, and you've never heard of the website before. Anyway, you've never been on it. It's private. It was a private deal. Anyway, here we have the internet, Wild West show, and I'd like to tell you why it's like that, because I know. But if I do, YouTube's going to censor me. So, I'll give you the tip of the iceberg. Obama gave the internet away. Alright, so anyhow, and that's the deal. YouTube, I can't publish anything that goes against their ideology. And their ideology and mine are two entirely different ideologies. So, I can't do that. I've had videos taken down. And I can do that on Parler, which is a social media deal. But in order for me to put a video on Parler, it goes through YouTube. Parler doesn't have the whatever it is to, put the videos out. YouTube does. So yeah, here we go. Now, YouTube will let me give stuff away. Patreon, which we're thinking about, will solve both of those problems. They'll let me say the things that I say, which aren't that controversial. It's just, I'm telling you the truth. But YouTube's ideology doesn't allow for the truth. Anyway, on Patreon, I can do that, but they won't let me give stuff away. So what do you do? And that's the dilemma. This is incremental baby steps until they get enough power in enough places where they can do it all at once. And I figure this is a perfect time to start a small business, and I've said this before, not because I'm going against the grain or anything like that. I used to have a YouTube channel called that, Going Against the Grain. Anyway, that was years ago. But it's because there's going to be an opportunity. And, I can think of a lot of things that we can make out of this downed lumber. 8,000 board feet so far is what I've calculated. I haven't sawn it yet, but that's what's down. And then, because we own the forest, we selectively cull trees for the health of the forest. An overcrowded forest, you've seen them before, trees all leaning and rotting on the ground and all that kind of stuff. the crown of the trees gets real broad and keeps the other trees from growing. And, an overcrowded forest is not a healthy forest. So with our forest management program, we cull trees every year, some poplar, some sweet gum. We don't cull any pine because the pine is under attack. Uh, but that's what we have the most of as far as wood available to use. Um, and because of standing dead and being blown over. And I've got right now, I've got some spalted yellow pine that I cut 2 years ago. Last year I couldn't cut any. I was attacked by rheumatoid arthritis, and I was stuck on the second floor of the cabin for months. Um, so, but that has been, and it's multidimensional, that's been air drying for 2 years. So, that's someplace around 12% moisture, and that's good enough to make stuff with. Anyway, and that's what we're going to make the promotional stuff out of. And would like to give it away. Now, I'm not going to give a ton of it away because it costs me $10 to ship something in the continental United States. It costs me $10 just to ship it. That doesn't include the cost of the item that we're giving away. So they're not going to be expensive items. They're going to be, I don't know what you call it, knickknacks and brickbats or whatever. And I don't really know what the product line is going to be yet. I have to do an inventory. I have to get back up to the homestead. I got to walk to the back of the property where all this stuff is stuck and stacked, and and see, what kind of inventory I have. I've got some hemlock, and I've got some spalted pine, and I've got some sweet gum, and I've got some poplar. And I don't know how much of each, but it's a stack. It's not in the thousands of board feet. I just don't know. I have to walk to the back of the property, and walking to the back of the property is a quarter of a mile. And I still have rheumatoid arthritis, so a quarter of a mile is a long way for me to walk. Anyway. All right, this thing I'm sure has gone way too long. But I just want to throw it out there in case somebody wants to make a comment and tell me how I can get around this stuff. Somebody who's tech savvy. Anyway, we'll continue on with what we're doing, and I'll show you how I'm converting this 6-foot by 8-foot utility shed into a workshop. How's that? All right, that's all I got for this time. So until next time, toodaloo.